Hi everybody, it's Frederique Began here. Thank you for joining me. I am here to talk to you tonight about the 4 dominant parenting styles and what they look like in action. I hear from a lot of people, I understand what permissive parenting is, and I know what authoritarian parenting is, and I know what kind of a parent I want to be. And I even do a pretty good job at applying the kind of parenting style that I want when things are calm, when things are going well. But when things get really heightened, it becomes really hard. And when I'm faced with challenging behavior, I don't actually know where the line is. Where am I being understanding and supportive? Where is that turning into being permissive? Where am I setting a firm limit? And when is it too authoritarian and too controlling? So I thought I would model what those 4 different parenting styles look like applied to a couple of different situations. So we have parents of kids of all ages here. We have parents of little ones and we have parents of older kids. So I thought I would pick one issue that's pretty common, tantruming, which frankly, I'm talking about it in the context of little kids, but as we all know, pretty big kids and sometimes grown-up sized kids can have temper tantrums. Blech, couldn't get the word out. And then also not following directions, which tends to be more common with some older kids, but again, can be just as common with little ones. So hopefully both of those scenarios will feel useful and will apply. My guess is that they will, knowing kids. So we'll start with what's a fairly common one. Let's say you give your kiddo the green cup and they really wanted the blue cup. And again, that's more likely something that you will encounter with little ones, not always. But in an older kid, it might be, they asked for 5 more minutes of screen time and you said no. And they start to melt down. They start to really get angry and really upset. So what a permissive parent might do is they say, I want the blue cup, you gave me the green cup. And the permissive parent might initially, oh, I'm sorry, you're disappointed. But eventually where the permissive parent comes to is giving in. Okay, all right, okay, settle down. I'm gonna go get the blue cup. It's okay, you can have the blue cup. And oftentimes that's actually more about the parent's discomfort with what's happening. They just want the situation resolved. They can't tolerate that level of conflict and watching their kiddo be in distress. The problem is, and if you look back over the posts of the last week, you see what some of the outcomes are of permissive parenting styles. That kiddo is learning nothing. They're not learning distress tolerance, which they really need to survive this world. They are learning, you're reinforcing that bad behavior. If I tantrum enough, I get my way. That is the last thing that we want to teach these kiddos. So that is not the way to go. An authoritarian parent, on the other hand, says, I am not going to give in, which is a good thing. But it's the way that they deliver it, and it typically involves shaming and blaming and sometimes name calling. You are disrespectful, you're a little brat. So now you're attacking that child's identity. And as frustrating as it is to have an epic meltdown over a stinking blue or green cup, who cares? For that child in that moment, it actually is really important. Or maybe it's about something else, but the feelings that they're having are really real and very, very important. And so the authoritarian parent skips over all of those feelings and says, I said no, and you're not listening, and you go to your room. This behavior is intolerable, even if they're not yelling, even if they don't lose their cool themselves. The way that they're engaging with that kiddo is pretty harsh. And the child is developing no skill set, does not see the parent as a resource, and is losing some self-esteem in the process. The uninvolved parent, on the other hand, may literally walk out of the room. Kiddo is having a giant meltdown, and maybe they get on their phone and they just ignore or check out. Or like I said, physically walk out of the room. So again, they're not available to help their kiddo through that. What an authoritative parent will do, and this is what we're aiming for as much as possible, is they're not going to give in, they're not going to abandon their kiddo, and they're not going to come down harshly, but they are going to firmly hold on to the limit. So for example, kiddo is now, the meltdown has gotten so big, epic, child is on the floor. It's, oh my gosh, you were so disappointed. You really, really wanted that blue cup. And I gave you the green cup. I didn't know you wanted the blue cup so much. Maybe next time we can do the blue cup. But this time we already made the green cup dirty. We're not going to make another cup dirty. So we're going to stick with what we got. Now, by the way, sidebar, sometimes it's okay to say, wow, it's no big deal. Here, have the blue cup. That means so much to you. Go for it. So there are exceptions, but to not muddy the waters, we're going to put those aside right now. We're going to say, you know, for whatever reason, we've decided, no, this is a really important limit and I'm going to stick to it. And so this is how to deliver that. Let's say kiddo has such a big meltdown, they can't even hear you anymore. They're on the floor and they're sort of all over the place. I really like sometimes giving them space, just sitting quietly. Don't walk away, just sit quietly with them. They need to know that you can tolerate those big feelings, that you can stay in it with them. But for those kids that can tolerate it, you can do something that some people call sportscasting or narrating. So you're reflecting back what you're seeing without trying to steer it one way or the other. You're just holding the space. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so important to you. You don't even want to drink water anymore. You don't even want your juice. You wanted that blue cup. You are so upset. I see there are big tears. I hear there is a big voice. I see you struggling on the floor. Oh my gosh. If they come and kick you or hit you or try to come at you, say, no, we're going to stay safe. You can have a big meltdown. I'm going to be here. I'm going to make sure that you're safe. I'm going to stay right with you. But you do set limits. Make sure that they're not hurting you. If they get to be dangerous or destructive, you stop those behaviors. Nope, we're not going to be dangerous and destructive. You can have really, really big feelings. But your behaviors have to stay safe. So that's what those 4 parenting styles look like in relation to a temper tantrum. Let's say you have a kiddo that's refusing to follow directions. So kid walks in, dumps their sports clothes on the floor, and they leave them there. And you say, hey, you know what? Can you please pick those up? Those need to go to the hamper. And they say, nope, I'm not doing it. Or they just ignore you, right? So permissive parent might plead, oh, could you please? Oh, I really want you to. Oh, well, maybe you're tired. Maybe I'll just do it. And again, there are instances where it's really okay and it's actually healthier to say, no, not a big deal. Big deal to you, not a big deal to me. I want it done. I'm getting it done. To not muddy the waters, we're going to put those aside for right now. We're going to say, this is a limit we've really decided is important to enforce. So you've decided, no, that kiddo needs to pick up the laundry. I'm not the maid. They do this all the time. This is a behavior that we really need to correct, and that's a skill we need to build. So the permissive parent gives in and rescues the child. The child hasn't developed the skill set, has learned that ignoring or avoiding gets them what they want. And frankly, it also damages their relationship with their parent. They lose respect for their parent. And it's actually kind of scary to have a parent that you don't respect, that you feel like can't hold a firm limit. So kids will typically start to push and push harder because they want to know, well, where is that limit? Where are you going to, stand up and have a spine and say no to me and enforce that? So you don't want to set up that dynamic. Again, an authoritarian parent will come down really hard on that kid. You are so spoiled, right? So now we're name calling. You think I am the maid. Absolutely not. You go to your room, or I'm taking away, XYZ privileges, and that is enough. You are disrespectful and I am sick of this, right? So blaming, shaming, criticizing, no skills being built. The relationship is being damaged. And again, kiddo isn't really developing respect for the parent. They might develop some fear. The uninvolved parent, who is often depressed and overwhelmed, will step over the laundry and just, I can't make this kid do anything. I don't want to lose my temper. That's not worth it. I'm exhausted. I don't want to rescue them because, again, I'm exhausted. I don't have it. And so I'm just going to, I'm just going to leave the laundry. I'm just going to leave it right there and step over it. Kid actually feels kind of abandoned. Again, it feels a little bit scary to have a parent that can't hold that line and that looks that checked out. And nobody's developing any skills. And the uninvolved parent, who may already be a little bit depressed and overwhelmed, becomes more depressed and overwhelmed because they're not effective. And so they start to check out more. So that's a dynamic you really want to pay attention to. And if you see that happening, more likely than not, especially if depression is involved, you need some professional help. And it's really, really important to get the help that you need so that you can start to shift back. What the authoritative parent will do is say, you know what? I see the laundry on the floor. I totally get you don't want to do it. I don't want to do it either. And I really don't want to do it either. So one of us has to do it. It's got to go, you know what? This is a skill set you really got to build. I'm not going to be around forever to do it for you. And it's not really good for you if I do it for you. So I need you to do it. They still refuse. Say, help me understand why it's such a big deal to do it. Why is it a problem? Because for me, it's you pick it up, you put it in the hamper. So why do you keep stepping over this? I don't get it. And you need some help with it. Is there something that I can do to help you? I'm not going to do it for you. I'm not going to rescue you, but I'm here to coach you and guide you and problem solve. If the kiddo still refuses, then you say, I set an expectation, and not in a blaming, angry way, centered, calm. I'm sorry, bud, I set an expectation. You're not doing it. So I think we're going to just hold off on the XYZ fun things that you had planned until that gets done. And when the laundry's done, then we can go off and we can go out to dinner, or we can go play basketball or play our game or hang out and do something fun. But I find it's a really good habit to get my chores done first and then have something fun to look forward to. So that's what I'm teaching you. And I've asked you to pick up the laundry. So when the laundry gets picked up, then we can move on. And then you just go about your life. You don't pick up the laundry. Don't keep trying to force them. Just wait. Most often, you can tolerate that wait better than kids can. So you walk away and the kid's like, I don't want to pick up the laundry, but I really want to go get ice cream, play basketball, whatever. And if you wait your kiddo out, and if you don't keep engaging with them, you turn around, they will more likely than not have picked up the laundry and put it in the hamper. And then you just notice it. Don't make a huge deal out of it. Oh, nice job. Thank you very much. Psyched you did that, because now we can go on and have fun. The other thing that I do is I talk with my boys a little bit about what it takes to run a happy household. And I say they really deserve a happy household, and I want a happy household. I will also ask them what kind of a family they want to live in. Do you want to live in a happy family? Do you want to live in a family that fights? You have say. You have a lot of power in creating the kind of family you live in. Here's my cat, Moxie. And so I can only run a happy household if we're all doing our part, if we're all chipping in and cooperating and working together. So that way you get some buy-in. So when that laundry's on the floor, I say, remember, I can't run a happy household when you're not listening to me. So we got to get it done. I can't run a happy household when there's laundry everywhere. So we really got to get this done. Again, happy to help you. I'm not going to do it for you. And you say it just like that, just really super matter of fact. Most of the time, even if you have to walk away, you'll come back and you'll find that kiddo has done it. They're smart. They know what's up, and it's not a big deal. A lot of the time, they're just seeing how you'll respond and if you'll hold that line. So I hope that was helpful in clarifying what the different parenting styles look like in action. Excuse me. If you have questions, please post them in the group. Also, feel free to PM me. That's completely fine as well. But see if you can notice, most of us move through, it's a spectrum, right? Most of us move through the different parenting styles at different times. So when you're really, really tired, you might move into authoritarian. I can't problem solve. You just have to do it now. Or conversely, when we're really tired, we might become uninvolved parents. Or when we're feeling guilty or badly about something, we might become permissive parents. So try to notice what triggers which kind of parenting styles in you, and then share in the group. I'd really like to hear what sets people up for what kinds of responses with their kids, and then we can help you problem solve them, and we can learn from each other. So I hope that's helpful. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you next time. Take care. Bye, everyone.